New U.S. strikes on Iran as Trump speaks out on escalating tensions. And as of this morning, Trump has officially declared the Iran strikes off because he says that Tehran finally got their act together and will concede to American interests. I don't know how reliable an orator Trump is on these events. So, we'll see. We'll see where it goes.
These latest attacks come less than 24 hours after U.S. fighter jets struck nearly 20 targets, including Iranian air defense and radar systems near the Strait of Hormuz. Iran releasing unverified video claiming to show the strikes also damaged critical civilian water reservoirs.
Oh, unverified video. So it's probably fake, guys. But also, just to be safe, maybe this was critical infrastructure that was aiding and abetting the IRGC. It's probably fake. America would never hit civilian infrastructure, except for when we do. And then the very same media outlets will turn around and say, well, don't you feel like it was supposed to cripple the drinking water that might make its way to the IRGC? It's Hamas water. It's Hezbollah water. It's water that the IRGC is drinking.
CENTCOM saying they are looking into the report. The U.S. strikes were launched in retaliation.
Yeah, by the way, is it really that strange to assume that America is deliberately targeting civilian infrastructure when the president is openly saying that America is deliberately targeting civilian infrastructure? Is it really that strange? That's literally what we're saying we are doing. So perhaps it's not that strange.
While these strikes fall short of resuming all-out war.
Also, a heads up, 49 Tomahawk missiles are launched yesterday. It cost a total of $178 million for missiles alone on the conservative end. And also the fact that we're still using standoff munitions that we're depleting that are already in critically low supply. Standoff munitions that are designed specifically for our near-peer and peer adversaries like Russia and China implies that we don't have complete air superiority over Iranian soil. And once again is another point that suggests that the American military capabilities are nowhere near as great as people previously thought they were, and that they haven't been able to make the significant military achievements. They haven't been able to generate the significant military achievements that they thought they would. They haven't achieved their objectives. Because remember, we have an abundance of gravity munitions, guided, unguided, that we could be dropping on Iranian soil, but that would require flights over Iranian territory, and they're not doing that. And the reason for why they're not doing that is because they're worried about Iranian anti-air defenses. Loitering munitions, Iranian standoff capabilities are far better than what America and Israel previously predicted them to be. Obviously, they have a unique mobile system that they deploy when they find it to be necessary. And once again, it's already ridiculous that we're talking about negotiating with bombs. That's not how you negotiate at all.
This action by the U.S. president's not unprecedented. We know that back in his first term, he was threatening strikes on Iran and then just called them off minutes before the launch. On June 20th of 2019, he approved retaliatory strikes after Iran shot down a U.S. drone and then canceled them roughly 10 minutes before impact. So it's clear that the U.S. president will, if he believes...
Yeah, so the American president, Donald Trump, is claiming that a deal is imminent. Iran is, of course, predictably disputing it. Here's the Hormuz letter. Breaking: Iran directly rejects Trump's new claims that they reached an agreement, canceled tonight's strikes on Iran as baseless, saying no agreement has been approved at all, and all of Trump's words should be disregarded like all his previous 38 times deal imminent announcements over 2 months, per Tasnim news agency. A senior Israeli official also tells Channel 12 that they are not aware of any agreement being reached. Dropsite reports Trump to press defense industry leaders on weapons production as missile stockpiles are shrinking amid the Iran war. Fars news agency says no text on the initial memorandum of understanding with the United States has been approved. A source close to the Islamic Republic of Iran's negotiating team told Fars. An hour earlier, the U.S. president had claimed in a message on the Truth Social network that Iran had agreed at the highest level to a text for an initial memorandum of understanding. Minutes later, in similar statements to the American newspaper, the New York Post, he said that the text in question had been summarized. Trump's claim comes as Iran and the United States endured one of their most intense clashes since the ceasefire was announced on Thursday morning. Fars news agency, given that the United States has accepted Iran's proposed text, the likelihood of the agreement being approved by Tehran's highest decision-making authorities is relatively high. This is only half an hour ago. An informed source told FNA Iran has not approved any draft agreement or initial memorandum with the U.S., contradicting President Trump's claim. So unless Trump is the party that actually agreed to the memorandum of understanding without making significant changes, then there is a potential ceasefire that is in place. And and Trump could be positioning this as coming to terms with the Iranian memorandum of understanding and then presenting it as though Iran is conceding, at which point, yes, there could be a ceasefire. Having said that, however, Barack Ravid reports, what to watch? The White House has believed a deal was imminent at several points during the conflict, only to see negotiations break down again. Just wait for Barack Ravid to say a deal is imminent. Barack Unit 8200 Ravid. Trump on Iran. Strait of Hormuz will open as soon as we sign. Trump on Iran. Deal signing maybe over the weekend. Signing probably in Europe. U.S. VP Vance will be there.
And we're going to be subject to finalization of documents, which should get done over the next few days. We'll probably have a signing maybe in Europe. And it's a great thing. Stock market's up 1,000 points. That means they like the deal. See, that means they like the market goes down. That means they don't like the deal. But it's been up. Oil's dropped. Oil will start coming down to, I think, even lower than it was before.
Iran's not playing around this time. Wrong strategies and impulsive decisions will reset the entire board for the worse, explode energy infrastructure and markets, and create an endless quagmire that you will be stuck in for years. You will see a different Iran. Yeah, look, man, it's pretty simple. I'm a simple guy, okay? I've heard this 38 times already. We all have heard this on 38 separate instances. 38 times. When the ink is dry and the American forces are retreating from the region, I'll believe it. Until that moment, I'm not believing it, okay? I'm in a state of disbelief. 38 times this dumbass has said a deal is imminent, and Barack Ravid has tweeted a deal is imminent. Kind of tough for me to look at a boy who cried wolf style scenario 38 times, you know? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you can't fool me again. That's what George W. Bush said. Fool me 38 times, at that point, I might be an analyst at Wall Street who is no longer looking at market fundamentals at all. Fool me 38 times, and that means I want to be fooled. Fool me 38 times, and my name might as well be Barack Unit 8200 Ravid. I'm working for Axios, and my job is to basically copy paste whatever the fucking White House emails me. What a crock of shit this has been. Anyway, here's what Trump had to say about people not believing him.
We have a signing soon, and the documents are in pretty final shape, so we'll see. We'll see. Very good. Should be done, and it should be done pretty quickly. They want it every bit as much as everybody else wants it. And I think a lot of good relationships. But we have a signing soon.
What are we signing, bro? What are we signing? Actually, what are we signing? Anyway, on the other hand, Trump obviously is experiencing a little bit more pressure because our productive capabilities are not keeping up with our unlimited appetite for death and destruction. All at the behest of Israel, of course, because, as I've reported on over and over again, we have a limited number of standoff munitions, and it's actually exceptionally difficult to resupply and to produce additional Tomahawk missiles. We're burning through them way faster than we can produce new ones. Trump is pressing the defense industry leaders on weapons production as missile stockpiles shrink amid Iran war. Leaders of 7 key defense companies are expected to meet with President Donald Trump at the White House later this week as the administration confronts growing alarm over thinning U.S. munitions stockpiles, NBC News reported. Trump has expressed anger to aides over the depleted arsenal as he weighs continued major combat operations against Iran. The Pentagon has yet to sign any new multi-year contracts to replenish munitions since Trump took office. NBC reported in May, having entered only non-binding framework agreements. The U.S. has been drawing down weapon stockpiles from Europe and Asia to sustain the Iran campaign. A Center for Strategic International Studies study found particular shortfalls in long-range precision weapons, including Tomahawks, Patriot missiles, and THAAD interceptors.
The finish line seems to be the biggest challenge. And so as a result, the U.S. president continues to effort that, but at the same time is once again threatening strikes that he has now just called off, something that we've seen him do before in order to try and get the concessions that he wants. Now, in terms of the rhetoric, well, Donald Trump is known to use bombastic language. Well, behind the scenes, there are teams that are quietly working, trying to work out those details of the potential agreement. But again, as you point out, we've heard this before. We've heard that an agreement is imminent, only for it not to materialize. And so the bottom line is that the devil is always in the details, which have appeared to be elusive in terms of getting this Iran agreement thus far.
Israeli officials denying it? I mean, that doesn't mean anything either. A senior Israeli official tells Channel 12 that they're not aware of any agreement, but they don't need to know. They're not on a need-to-know basis. If Trump actually secures a final deal, I'm sure the Israelis won't know about it until the ink is drying, and they'll freak the out about it and they'll ruin it, which is precisely the reason why I tell you that the only thing to pay attention to is troop positions. Like, where are the naval assets? Which direction are they heading? And not only that, but also, how much are they complaining? Hassan supports terrorism, says this guy, Mariah Joe. I do not support the Israeli state. So, no. And I don't support when the American state does acts of terrorism against the Iranian civilian infrastructure, for example. So, you're wrong. Yes, offensive realism. I'm just telling it like it is. It's not even offensive realism. Until America withdraws from the region, none of these words mean anything. Until America starts moving away from the region, broadly withdrawing from their bases or anything like that. I'm just simply saying, in this iteration of the conflict, until naval assets start moving in the opposite direction, it's meaningless.